Please help me. I know I've done some bad stuff in my movies, but I don't deserve this. This guy's hardcore. Get back here. Hola, amigos. It's Will here from Will's Custom Figures, coming at you today with a big bad breakdown of the one and only ECW's New Jack from the Gangstas. So, please, guys, sit back and relax while I talk you through everything to do with this figure, which is available on eBay right now, just to let you know, and all the details in between. So firstly, guys, I'm going to do a little bit of a 360 here for you so you can see him in all different angles from all his different glory. But this is the notorious wild man of extreme wrestling. He's even had documentaries that Dark Side of the Ring did, I think, last year on his life, maybe 2 years ago. And New Jack is an absolute beast. Definitely one of the most notorious and scary people in all of professional wrestling. Now, I don't know if anybody can tell from this picture, but he has been made using the one and only Sergeant Slaughter body. Attention, maggots! And I'm so happy with how this has turned out. Let me just change the lighting a little bit here. It's a little bit dark over here in Desborough in the United Kingdom. But as you can see, comparing these two together, man, I'm so happy with how New Jack's turned out. Big shout out to my friend Nick for this 3D head sculpt that he did for me in the New Jack. And obviously hand painted by myself. All of the custom attire and everything else has been done by me. So hopefully you like all of that. Now, this guy is a legend, and I want retros in my life. So from 1963, when he was born in North Carolina, he actually started just nearly 30 years old, 1992, in Memphis's USWA. And that's where New Jack started to carve out this persona. And this character, man, he was a criminal. He was in prison in real life. And the New Jack City film is what he based his wrestling character on. So if you haven't seen it, I've checked it out in the trailer and some of the information getting ready for this review. It is absolutely crazy. And I definitely would highly recommend watching it. It gives you a little bit of insight into the mind of New Jack and why he came up with that character and did the things that he did, man. This guy was terrifying. Let's see that beautiful smile, New Jack. It's school photo time. Oh, man, I don't think that face is smiling anytime soon. So here you go, guys. Here is a nice little close-up. Man, don't he look angry? Oh, my God, I love this head sculpt. A few different little angles with the lighting. You can see, you can really get him looking menacing and mean. And, of course, that's what New Jack was known for, man. ECW 1995, I was probably about, 7 at the time, 8. And I started watching wrestling shortly after this. But he was dangerous. He's unpredictable. He's diving off massive balconies. And he was with the Gangstas, Mustafa Saeed. They were called the Natural Born Killers. And you know what? They used to play the Natural Born Killers by Ice Cube's song during their match. And correction, they weren't called the Natural Born Killers. Their music was the Natural Born Killers by Ice Cube. And they used to play during the matches, which is pretty much unheard of. I had never really seen or heard of anything like that when New Jack came along. And very, very creative. Now, his chaos during the matches was amplified by this. He would come out with weapons. He'd come out with, things from the crowd. He would hit people with steel chairs, with cooking trays, with barbed wire. And absolutely, this guy paved the way that nobody wanted to follow and was genuinely notorious and quite terrifying. Me and a friend of mine, Daniel Aston, we used to get so shocked and scared watching him beat up Gypsy Joe. I think that's on YouTube. And his dealings with the mass transit incident, he actually bladed a guy called Eric Kulas's head. And unfortunately got sued and everything else. But this guy was very notorious and very, very scary. Now, as you can see in the background, here is Sergeant Slaughter. So what I started by doing was attaching the head with clay. As you can see, I'm really, really pleased with how it's attached on there. Used a nice Vallejo Beastie Brown for all of the skin tones, and it has turned out absolutely spot on. I could not be more happy with that. Now, varnish gloss to all the scar tissue on the forehead. If you've not seen New Jack, if you're new to this, man, please look, just Google image search him, and you will see some crazy, crazy pictures This guy was sort of one of a kind. Now, going down to the outfit, I had to cover up Sergeant Slaughter's vest, so I did a lot of clay around here. And this is, of course, the amazing clay that I've started to use. As you can see, it is Procreate Putty and it is movable clay. I've done the tassels in the past and they've never really worked out too good, whereas now it's like an upgrade. So I'm so happy with how this is how this has turned out, and no expenses spared with a Will's Custom Figures custom. I've kept the point in hand, you know, to take it to another level. I'd maybe like to have like a weapon holding hand or something here. And he's, of course, got the purple khaki color outfit. You know, he's not going to be hiding in the jungle from anyone, is he? Or in rainforests and become an assassin or anything, or a soldier. But this guy, he was, from what I understand, a bounty hunter for a while. Nice varnish gloss on the boots here. And yeah, very, very intimidating, very scary human being. And certainly somebody that you would not want to be in the ring with. Now, ECW's Living Dangerously pay-per-view, Vic Grimes. They had a match and he actually fell off the scaffolding, and Vic Grimes landed on his head. In fact, no, sorry. Correction there. He had a match with Vic Grimes before this where they fell off the ECW Titantron, which landed on his head, and he had brain fluid coming out of his nose and all this horrible stuff. And then it was the ECW Living Dangerously pay-per-view. They had a scaffolding match, and he actually tasered for real Vic Grimes and launched him as hard and as far as he could, trying to get him to hit the concrete below, but he hit a couple of tables. So yeah, New Jack, you certainly would not want to be on the wrong side of this guy. And a very, very dangerous human being. And I'm really, really happy to have done a review on him. He actually reached out to me with a previous custom figure and asked for one. So a big privilege for me to get that from New Jack. And here we go, back with you with a nice little size comparison with Earthquake and, of course, Big Boss Man. I absolutely love these beaters. They've been in my collection for a long time. And as you can see, they've both seen better days. But just as a little bit of a size comparison, next to New Jack, he stands pretty tall and loud and proud and stands out on a shelf. So yeah, hopefully you like this. Now, I wanted to compare him against a couple of my custom figures. So here he is next to my Warlord, which I recently created. If you haven't seen that video, there is a link in my Hasbro's playlist that you can view all of these videos. And I also wanted to do a comparison next to two sort of like modern day badasses from, well, I say modern day, they're not modern day. Unfortunately, both of these two legends have passed away now. We've got, of course, Umaga, aka Jamal, on the left, and then we have Rosie, aka the superhero in training, and Roman Reigns' brother on the right. Now, can you imagine? There was rumors of New Jack moving over to WCW and coming in with a team. And I would have loved to have seen that, man. That would have been absolutely amazing. You know, whether or not it's people like this, you know, they've got their trainers on. They look sort of like a little bit gangster, a little bit hood, a little bit bad boys. Can you imagine him bringing in someone like 3 Minute Warning instead of having Rico as their manager and, you know, dominating within the WWE? New Jack's later career moved to TNA, also XPW Wrestling Promotions, and he actually retired after 21 years in 2013, only making rare appearances thereafter. Now, in 2021, unfortunately, all three wrestlers there have actually passed away now, but in 2021, shortly after filming the Dark Side of the Ring documentary, New Jack unfortunately passed away. Now, for me, he was 58, he had a heart attack, but what are my final reflections? Well, New Jack had a legacy. He had a legacy which was more than hardcore. It was more than ECW. This guy was intimidating to all of the wrestlers, everybody on the card from the top to the bottom. He blurred the lines and the boundaries between real life and between fiction and non-fiction. And his violence was criticised, but it also built him notoriety. Why did he never turn up in the WWE? Would he ever be in like a Hall of Fame WWE, you know, or any other Cauliflower Alley, any other Hall of Fame throughout the world? I don't know, because his actions and his style and everything else was questionable. Now, for me, what would I rate this? I'd probably rate this about an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. He is available on eBay, as I mentioned. This head sculpt cost a couple of quid, a couple of pounds UK, and thank you again to Nick for that. But if you want him in your collection, please feel free to bid, guys. I'm really, really happy with this. He inspired everybody from the Dudleys to modern day deathmatch wrestling. And yeah, the Dudley Boys supposedly stole their camo theme from New Jack, so we can thank them for all of that craziness on Raw all those years ago and SmackDown all those years ago with powerbombs through tables and those khaki outfits for the Dudley Boys. Now, what is next? Well, I mentioned before, in tribute to another wrestling legend, somebody that did a little bit of stuff in ECW, is mainly known for WCW. I'm going to build my own, very own Kevin Sullivan, using these rockers' legs and using a good old bushwhacker upper torso. So stay tuned for that. I'm really, really excited for that one, guys. And in addition to that, I do have another video coming very, very soon. And New Jack was a beast in the ring. He was terrible. He was terrifying. Some might also say he was a bit of a barbarian. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube. Thank you for watching for nearly 11 minutes now. From myself, from New Jack. I will catch you guys on the next one. Adios.